Let's take a look at Utkatasana chair pose, which is going to strengthen, vitalize, and relax the legs while inducing a feeling of lightness in the body. This pose has two phases. We start in Tadasana, feet hip-width apart, palms facing forward. On an inhalation, we're going to rise up onto the balls of the feet as the arms come to horizontal. We retain the breath briefly as we bend our knees, as though sitting on a high stool. So that special breath helps us to feel a sense of lightness as we come into the pose. Hopefully Karen's exhaled now and is breathing naturally, and her heels are lightly lifted off the floor. They don't need to be very high, just lightly lifted. The spine is in its natural curves and either straight up and down, or we can add a gentle leaning forward here from the hip joints. Not very far, but what that can do is engage the quads and the glutes to give you a little bit more support in this active phase of the pose, hopefully helping you to feel lighter. The arms are long, chest open, shoulders relaxed. And the point of this pose isn't so much to give your legs a workout, but to help you have a feeling of lightness in your body, even in the midst of effort, which can help to bring a feeling of lightness into your consciousness. As you mentally affirm, my body is no burden, it is light as air. Next, we'll exhale into the second phase of the pose, bending the knees deeper as the buttocks rest down onto the backs of the heels. Hands come to the junction of thighs and abdomen. Her spine is nice and straight still, vertical. The thighs are horizontal and parallel, the chin level with the floor. And we want to be able to relax our legs as much as possible in this second phase of the pose. Still repeating the affirmation mentally, my body is no burden, it is light as air. And to exit, we'll inhale as we sweep our arms forward and up overhead, rising up onto the balls of the feet, and then exhaling as we release the arms out to the sides, returning to Tadasana, standing mountain pose. And I invite Karen to close her eyes at this point because the pose effects are almost more dramatic after you've come out of it, when there's this powerful surge of energy rising in the legs. Now, there are some variations to this pose. Instead of coming down into that full second phase, that full squat position, we can do a variation that's a little bit more challenging. You have to work harder to keep the buttocks lifted so it's not fully touching the heels here. It's not as relaxing second phase, but it's more energizing. The arms can be out horizontally in this version or hands at the junction of thighs and abdomen. And there are different ways to exit the pose. If coming out of chair pose applies too much stress to your knees, one way to exit is to bring the hands down to the floor instead, straighten up through the legs somewhat, and then inhale as you raise the arms, rise up onto the balls of the feet, and exhale out to the sides. Beautiful. And that was a review of Utkatasana chair pose.